Hello. What's up, guys? Kanye West 215 here with a discussion video today. Okay, so I'm gonna be talking about the Evil Sworn archetype and how sexy it is. So this is a deck that you will probably see topping at multiple events, probably at every event, because this deck it just shuts down pretty much almost every single meta deck out there. So it's just freaking broken. And one of the reasons why this deck is amazing is because of this card right here. In case you didn't know what this sexy black card do, Asian Boy's gonna read it to you. So yes. While this card has the XYZ material, level 5 or higher monster cannot be special summoned. Once per turn, you can detach the one XYZ material from this card, add one infestation, spell or trap card from the deck to the hand. And as you can see, it's the 25 PD, attack in the 16 PD, defense okay, so it's a pretty good. So this card alone can literally just shut down entire decks. Now that is so crazy. And I'm just gonna give you guys some examples of the decks that it shuts down. Like Spellbooks, they can't do shit if they can't get out Priestess. Even if they plus like 1,000,000 with Divine Judgment, they can't get out Priestess, then they're done. They have the Chaos Dragons. They have like no outs except for Raikou, but then again, to make it even more tough on the Chaos Dragon players, this deck runs double Forbidden Dress. Yes. Then we have the Hieratics, they can't do shit. Just random ass boss monster. Dark Arm, can't drop Dark Arm with the freaking ugly ass Ophion. This card is ugly as hell, by the way. Look at that. Oh my damn. Okay. Anyways, can't drop Dark Arm. Say goodbye to Hyperion. No JD, no hand traps, can keep poking, don't have to be scared of these hand traps. No synchros, freaking crazy. So like all those synchro-centric decks like Samurais, all that shit, no worries if you have Ophion, it's crazy. And of course, the biggest thing is it also stops Mermails. Because with this card on board, they can't even summon Abyss Megalo, Abyss Tias, Abyss Lead, so basically all the discard outlets, so crazy, they can't do shit. So they can't even discard for Abyss Megalo because it can't resolve with this card on the field, so they can't even pay the cost. And the only way they could really stop the Ophion is if they have Undyne, so they can take a dump on that infantry, but Forbidden Dress can just stop that. So Forbidden Dress is all in all just amazing in this deck because Forbidden Dress plus Pandemic plus Ophion equals pretty much good game. Like, your opponent really cannot do anything. They don't have Dark Hole, can't do shit. Freaking Pandemic. They can't summon their boss monsters, and they can't use monster effects to pop anything if they have Dress. So it's just absolutely ridiculous. This card also stops Elemental Dragons. Elemental Dragons, in case you didn't know, is a deck that you'll probably be seeing all over the place in a few months. Basically, they're just like Chaos Dragons on freaking cocaine. They can like OTK any moment. It's ridiculous. That deck is so fast. It has so much power. And basically this card just completely wrecks that deck. So pretty crazy. And also Dark Worlds. I don't know why I didn't say that before. The fact that you can make Ophion so easily in this deck. This deck is very fast. For example, a Rescue Rabbit equals an Ophion, which is ridiculous. If they have Bottomless, you have Pandemic. It's crazy. And Caster is amazing. Fun fact, if they Veiler it doesn't do shit against this card. Mandragora, which is like a Cyber Dragon, but even better in some ways. Heliotrope and Thunderbird, which is basically the wind-up rabbit of the deck. Yeah, they even have a freaking wind-up rabbit. So yes, this deck is so crazy. You can also splash in a Macro in this deck because, like Macro Rabbit, Macro does not hurt this deck at all once Hidden Arsenal comes out, at least before Circeon is released. When Circeon is released, you probably don't even need to run this. And maybe you can even run a D-Fissure, but I don't really see why you would need to, because the decks that Macro and D-Fissure are good against, pretty much Ophion just stops those decks already, so yeah. Yes, you can even run Macro to make this deck even more annoying to deal with. So pretty much the Verse archetype, yeah, I'm gonna call it Verse because I'm the Asian, and people in Asia call it Verse. Verse pretty much shuts down every deck, except those Exceeds based decks, such as, I don't know, Fire Fist, not really Exceeds based, but you know, they don't really go into high level monsters. So yes, Fire Fist pretty compatible. Wind Ups, maybe Inzectors, Dino Rabbit. So yeah, just a few decks off the top of my head that can still have a somewhat fair matchup against this deck. There are a few side deck cards that I can think of that might do something against this deck. Maybe Snowman Eater. Although Forbidden Dress is a card, Snowman Eater, you know, if you get lucky, you can pop the Ophion, which is amazing. And the next card, which is probably the best choice, is Rivalry of Warlords. In case you didn't know what this sexually Asian card do, let me read to you right now. Okay, I'm gonna read in my normal voice. Okay, so each player can only control one type of monster. Send all other face-up monsters they control to the graveyard. So if you notice, this deck is pretty much, it's really diverse. You got your rock types, you got your freaking plants, you got your warriors, and all the exceeds are dragons. You know, all the Evil Swarm ones are dragons. So yes, so Rivalry of Warlords is the only thing I can really think of that can somewhat stop this deck. So leave in the comment section below what you think of the Evil Swarm deck, and if you're gonna run it next format. I am running this deck. You know, I'm sorry guys. This deck can be annoying as hell. I understand, but I only run in the sexy deck, and this deck is pretty damn sexy. With exception of freaking Ophion over here. That is one homely ass mofo. I am sorry, but this guy needs some plastic surgery or something. I am sorry, but that, oh my god, I can rant about how this card looks all day. But anyways, yeah, getting a little off topic there, but yes, please subscribe, thumbs up the video if you want to see my Evil Swarm deck profile, and yes, be the sexy!